Hello everyone, and welcome to a new Record of Ragnarok video. Since the full translation won't be out for a few days, and there were no Shonen Jump chapters to review this week, I figured I may as well do something, so I should talk about the leaks for Chapter 50. Now, I'm still going to be doing a fully fledged review later this week when the translations come out, so this is just going to be some smaller, more surface level analysis on a couple important details we got from the leaks for this chapter. Now, before we get into that, I of course have to mention my subscriber goal for 2021, hitting 5,000 by the end of the year. So, if you're already a fan of this channel and you're not subscribed, you might as well to help me reach that goal. Next is my Patreon. If you want to help support me and the channel directly while also getting access to reviews for Solo Leveling and The Boxer, you can always become a patron. I've linked to that down in the description. And last thing, I'm sure you noticed I sound a little off. That's because I'm a bit under the weather today. Kind of got hit by allergies out of nowhere. Nothing too bad, just thought I should let you know. So, with that out of the way, let's get right into it. There are two important things in this chapter that I'm going to go over in this video. First of which is the reveal of a very long anticipated character. The god of the underworld, Hades, has finally made his appearance, and my goodness, my god, is he dripped the fuck out. This is one of my favorite character designs in the series. He's so cool. He looks amazing. The Greek pantheon gets, like, the best treatment in this series. It's unreal. They got the most fighters, they got the most commentary characters, and they have some of the best character designs in the whole fucking series. Basically the only reason I like Poseidon in any regard is because his design's cool. Like, his personality is atrocious, which is intentional. Like, he's a terrible person you're supposed to hate. If it were not for his cool design, he would be like an F-tier character for me. The design alone is so good that it, like, pushes him up a few pegs for me. But with Hades, oh fuck. He's got an even cooler design than fucking Poseidon. Excuse any really obnoxious background noise. I am on a main street. So the traffic is quite loud. He has got an S-tier design. And he seems like actually kind of a relatively cool dude, which is good. Because in actual Greek mythology, Hades is probably one of the least terrible gods, which is very funny to think about, considering how he's portrayed in a lot of media as being basically the devil. There's this big association with the underworld and hell, and since Hades is the ruler of the underworld, he is often associated with the devil. In spite of that, Hades is actually, like, a relatively cool guy, at least in comparison to the rest of the Greek pantheon, especially his brothers. Poseidon is a huge asshole, who rapes people all the time, and Zeus is also a huge asshole who rapes people all the time. Though I think Zeus, is much more prone to cheating on his wife. So, Hades, listen, sure, you kidnapped your wife and all, which is not great. Yeah, it was some kind of weird marriage practice back then, but still, a little cringe. But you're very faithful to your wife, and you love her very much. Hopefully we'll see Persephone at some point. That would be nice. Get to see this version of Hades hang out with her, which would be very good. If we ever get a chapter with that, it's an immediate 10 out of 10. This is awesome. This is kind of like everything I wanted out of Hades. He's cool, he's suave, he's knowledgeable. I did not at all expect him to pop up in this chapter, but in hindsight, I really should have, because the whole big thing with Hodgin is that he's from the netherworld, or the underworld. Now I have to wonder if Beelzebub has any connection to Hades. I had never really considered that before, but since it seems like he's the devil, or some incarnation of the devil in this series, it's very likely that Beelzebub has a connection to Hades. I've always thought Anubis would have a connection to him, so I assume we're going to see that as well at some point. I've said on multiple occasions that I expected Hades to show up when Anubis fought, so this is much earlier than I expected. I assume Hades will have some kind of input on Anubis being picked to go up, or we will definitely get a lot of commentary from him whenever Anubis fights. So that gives us a good opportunity to transition into the second thing I wanted to talk about in this video, which is Hodgin, because we don't get a fully fledged backstory for him this chapter, which I was kind of expecting, but we do get some insight into his potential origins. So, as far as we can tell, it seems like the underworld in Record of Ragnarok is split up into multiple layers. It's quite possible that these layers are the different versions of the underworld or hell from different religions. So you'd have the Greek underworld, you would have the Norse underworld, you would have the Egyptian underworld, you would have, hell from Christianity, and you would obviously have the Buddhist hell, which I think Hodgin would be from. So it seems that in each of these planes of the underworld, they have some big battle royale tournament of some kind, or some kind of competition. The leak translations describe it as like the wave season or something. I definitely think that's going to get fixed whenever we get like the full translation from Demi. It's going to be something a little more understandable. But it seems to be this big event that happens when the denizens of the underworld will fight each other, and seemingly whoever wins these tournaments becomes the ruler of one of the planes of the underworld, or they have some kind of position of importance in the underworld. Now, we already knew that Hodgin is the demon lord of the sixth heaven, though I guess in this case would be like the sixth realm of the underworld. I also figured it would probably be like the sixth realm of heaven in Buddhism, because of Buddha's six realm staff. It's not really clear yet. This is one of the things that I'm hoping will get cleared up when we get the full translations. But apparently Hodgin won these competitions super fucking hard. And it's very possible that he may have vanished. He may have been taken out of the picture because he was too strong and no one could beat him. I don't think that's really clear yet. Once again, that's one of the things we're going to get cleared up in the translation, and that's something I'll hopefully be able to talk about for the chapter review. But basically, Hodgin, very strong, no one understands why he's here. Bryn's freaked out, all the other gods are freaked out, I don't think even Hades understands why he's here, so Beelzebub doesn't know, Hades doesn't know, maybe someone else knows? Maybe Hodgin took himself out of the picture? Maybe he got bored with fighting in the underworld because everyone was so much weaker than him? It's not clear yet. Hopefully we'll be finding out soon. Now, Hodgin's pretty strong in this chapter. Now, most of the reason that he's able to do so well against Buddha is because Buddha can't see his future. However, I don't believe it's explained why he's not able to see Hodgin's future in this chapter. Once again, hopefully, if that is explained in this chapter, it will be in the translation, or we'll find out in one of the next chapters. I think I've seen, like, some people predict it has something to do with karma, how Hodgin is outside of it or something. That's what I've figured. Probably something having to do with Hodgin being, like, so evil or corrupted that the enlightened can't see what he's going to do. Something like that. Probably much more elegant and cool. But he's real fucking strong. He's got more of that body-bending stuff that Zarafuku did a little bit. Turned, like, his arm into a drill. Strong enough to pierce through Buddha's shield, which was able to block the giant Misery Cleaver with really no trouble, which is pretty nuts. That's, like, a pretty big showing in the strength difference between Hodgin and Zarafuku. And this drill attack takes out one of Buddha's eyes, which is bad. That's real fucking bad. We have a not great track record for human fighters losing their eyes. Yeah, however, Buddha doesn't need his future sight. I mean, maybe he could reach, like, some other level of enlightenment by not seeing. Who knows? I figured he would maybe have to pull something out. But yeah, now Buddha's serious. He's taken a grievous injury, and the chapter pretty much ends off with Hodgin laughing like an asshole. And his face... This reminds me of when Poseidon was laughing at Kojiro, which is also not a great sign for Hodgin. I'm not going to get too in-depth to it this chapter, but for this video, I'm going to talk more about it in the chapter review. But I, once again, have no idea where this is going. I don't know who's going to win. Buddha is seemingly taking the Adam route, which is not good, because, well, Adam died. But on the other hand, Hodgin does not at all seem like someone who would win this fight. He seems to be in the Poseidon camp of existing to be an asshole that you root against, and feel very good about him losing. So, I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. But yeah, very interesting chapter we've gotten this month, and I am very excited to talk about it more in depth when we get the translation later this week. So, with that, that is all I have to say for today's video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Record of Ragnarok chapter reviews every month, and I will have my full chapter review out later this week. So, if you're looking forward to that, you should definitely subscribe so you don't miss it. If you enjoy other series such as Jujutsu Kaisen, Kengan Omega, and Chainsaw Man, I do videos in those series as well, so you should definitely check out my channel if you're interested in those, especially since Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be coming back this week. If you enjoy discussing Record of Ragnarok with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I've linked to that down in the description. And since it's the end of the video, it's time to give a shout out to my wonderful patrons, Fuse, Neo, Dijon Redden, Anthony Chavez, Honey Mustard, Zach Rowitz, K-God, Chris Redfield, Scratch23, Moonshadow935, Rat, Ryzen 4K, and Artist. Thank you all very much for supporting me on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it. And if you too want to get a shout out at the end of videos, or access to reviews for solo leveling and the Boxer, you can always become a patron as well. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care.